Hey there, Vanessa here with The Soul Restored, where I help bring sanity to every aspect of your life. Today's video is how in 3 super simple steps you can get your baby sleeping 12 hours a night by 3 months old. It's going to be awesome. So these steps are super simple, easy for anyone to implement, and it has worked for me 4 times with 4 different kids. It is something that I read a lot about. I actually implemented with my own children and have been able to see the results of sleep training. Really, there's so much research to back up why it's necessary, why it not only helps you and your sanity, because that's what we talk about here, but also really helps the child in many different ways. So let's get started with number 1. Number 1, it is incredibly simple. Basically, you will start anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks old, just giving your baby a binky anytime they wake up in the middle of the night. So you might choose to feed one last time, like at 10 or 11, whenever you go to sleep. From that time, you need to consider that bedtime. So bedtime is anywhere from 10 till 6 or 7 the next morning. During that time, anytime they wake up, give them a binky. No, you're not going to have to struggle with this kid when they're 15, still wanting it at the grocery store, or trying to find it and lick off the lint when it goes on the floor of some public place. You're going to be good. I'm only suggesting do it during the night hours for sleep training. So continuing on, anytime they wake up, you give the baby the binky. Now, you are going to watch your baby's cues and listen, because if you can give baby the binky once or twice and they accept it, then they don't really need to eat. If they pursue, then you pick them up and you feed them, whether it's nursing, bottle, or whatever. That's what you do. Now, what will happen in a very short amount of time, it'll take just a few weeks, baby will naturally start to wake up less frequently, because baby is being trained to just wake up when they really need to eat. So what will happen is baby will naturally go from waking up every 2 hours to 3 hours to 4 hours, etc., to waking up multiple times a night to waking up only 1 time a night, and we'll get to that point. So it's very simple. It's seriously almost too simple. But just by giving your baby the binky and teaching them to only wake up when they really need to eat is all you're doing. It's sleep training. Number 2, rewind bedtime. So like I said, if you are feeding for the last time before you go to sleep at 10 or 11, every 2 to 3 nights, you are going to rewind bedtime by 15 minutes. So if you're starting at 10, then the next night you're going to go to 9:45, do 9:45 for 2 to 3 days, then 9:30, 2 to 3 days, and continuing on that way until you get to your desired bedtime for your baby. My desired bedtime for my kids is about 6:30. So I can be done after dinner time, get them to bed, take care of my older kids that now go to bed a little bit later, and have a lot of free time. Because again, we're talking about sanity here. So rewind bedtime by 15 minutes every 2 to 3 days. Easy peasy. Number 3. By this time, you've worked with your baby for a number of weeks and you've gotten them down to waking only 1 time a night, usually early morning. So at this point, what you're going to do is have your hubby or partner or whoever that is, that's not you, and you're going to switch places on your bed. You are going to sleep through the night. And it's going to be this amazing, wonderful thing. And your partner is going to get a little taste of what it's like to wake up with a baby in the middle of the night. Now they will have no full idea because you were waking up with them multiple times and we're just asking them to wake up the 1 time. So you're going to choose a weekend to do this, because all of my babies, literally it only took 2 nights. That's it. And my doctor said it could take a number of nights. My kids, 4 out of 4, it only took them 2 nights to be sleep trained with this particular thing. So basically, switch places with your spouse. Your hubby, during that 1 feeding, is just going to keep giving the binky to the baby, nurturing baby. We're not crying it out until they are soothed and go back to sleep. Like I said, it only takes a few nights to depending on your kid and their personality, and in a very humane, loving way, not crying out, they are sleeping through the night. Now, I would suggest that you do not allow your baby to go past 3 months for your sanity, but really, if you do if you are okay waking up one time in the middle of the night, I would suggest not allowing them to wake up any more than once a night up until 6 months, because the whole idea of sleep training is you are teaching your child when to sleep. And that sleep is so important to their development, to their health, and to them taking better naps during the day, that when you are teaching them this skill, literally is a skill, they are going to be more successful cognitively, like I said, with their health, behaviorally. They will eat better, they will perform better at school, etc. And we've noticed a huge improvement with 3 of our kids versus one. One, we decided to sleep train really, really late, and she is now 5.5 years old. And comparing the 3 that we sleep trained by 3 months versus her that we sleep trained much later. And the reason we did that is she had a lot of health problems, so we just thought, okay, we'll just meet those needs through the night as many times as she needs. But really, I wish that we would have done the same thing with her, because now in hindsight, I realize she needed it even more so. Anyhow, even at 5.5 years old, her sleep habits are worse than the others by a long shot. So it's very, very important that you sleep train your kids for their development, for their health and benefit. And then, of course, you have the benefits of being able to string 2 sentences together and like other human beings on a regular basis. So it's just a really fabulous idea to sleep train. Other tips, just to let you know what I do as far as keeping the binky in their mouth, I put 2 bolsters on either side of my baby, and they're stiff enough that it's never going to block their airways. It's just enough to keep that binky in their mouth, because I have my babies sleep on their side during this phase. And so the bolster will just keep the binky in their mouth, and they still can easily push it out, super easily, so that you are recognizing their cues, learning the times that they need to wake up to nurse or eat versus times that they are just waking up because they're needing to learn when to sleep and when daytime is, when they can be awake. Then the very last thing that I want to say is, by training them at nighttime, their naps will improve. And it's also hugely important that you are consistent with daytime naps and giving them 3 naps a day till at least 3 months, because babies until 3 months need to be sleeping most of the day, and they cannot be awake and be happy more than an hour and a half to 2 hours at a time. So when you do the math in a day, you basically figure they can sleep for 12 and a half hours at night, be awake for at most 2 hours, 3 different times, and then sometimes a little bit longer before they go to bed for the night. And so you still can fit in 3 naps. It is hugely important that they get those 3 naps. My kids have taken 3 naps a day until 9 months, and have taken 2 naps a day even until 18 and 20 months. So really, it is super possible to keep your kids napping beautifully and sleeping beautifully during the night. Sleep begets sleep. There's tons of research if you want to learn more about sleep patterns and sleep rhythms in infants and as they get older. Read Baby Wise or Happy Sleep Habits, Happy Baby. Now, they do not give you an exact timeline and exact instructions on how to get your baby to sleep through the night for 12 hours like I have during this video, but those books are awesome as far as research and scientific evidence that they have done with children to identify their sleep needs and rhythms, etc. I hope that this video was helpful. Remember, you do not have to let your kids cry it out. There are ways to get them to sleep through the night in a very nurturing way, and even get your husband or spouse or partner involved so that you guys are doing it together. Thank you so much for watching. If you have other tips to get your babies to sleep through the night, I would love to hear about those in the comments below, and so would all of my other readers and watchers. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching. If you liked any part of this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Plus, if you hit that bell, you'll get every notification every time I post. And don't forget to click on my other videos because they're freaking awesome. I don't know what this is. Flock of seagulls, something. I don't know. Check out the videos.